very much looking forward to this event. We haven't done that many recently, but this is a great one. It's always interesting to find out the best way to design your funnels. I know we see and hear that basic funnels, basic design, you don't really need to pay much attention to it, but there's definitely something to having a nice designed funnel. I think Perry Belcher I saw a talk with him a couple of months ago, and he was saying at the moment, nice funnel design or nice landing page design at least is pretty big. It shows people that you're professional, right? You can only imagine what would happen at Apple sales if they just changed their page and made it very basic and ugly, and probably wouldn't change too much, but you know what I mean. So we've got Tanya with us today. Tanya is pretty much our resident expert on marketing and design. She's been on the marketplace for a very long time. You're probably one of the original people, aren't you, Tanya, on the marketplace? I think you just joined very early in the One Funnel Away Challenge days. Are you still there, Tanya? I might have lost her for a second, but you can take my word for it. Tanya has been with us for a long time. So fantastic with design, logos, banners, images, graphics, absolutely anything. And then also does a lot of funnel building stuff. So knows funnels inside and out. So this is going to be an exciting one. I'm looking forward to this. I'll hand it over to you, Tanya. Let's rock and roll and get down to it.
Great, thank you, Lee. Yes, I actually have been from the start, from Funnel Rolodex, it was still until now Funnel Builders. So definitely, I'm sorry, I'm sitting in South Africa and we actually just got load shedding. So it was just that we had to switch off power and switch it back on quickly. So that is what happened, but we're back online.
That's good to hear.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go into a little bit more than just showing you how to design, and actually just a few steps back. Everything that you need for a design, everything you need for a funnel, for a landing page, and then things you need to look at and things you need to check. And then we hopefully can do a quick little bit of designing as well in ClickFunnels 2.0. This is something I find very important, especially you always look at somebody that quickly does a design and you look at everything they do. And then when you try and do it yourself, it's sometimes quite complicated, or you don't know where to start or where to kick off. So I'm quickly going to run through as much as possible and then see how far we get. Okay. And afterwards, I'm actually going to share a share funnel with Lee. He will just share you the information on an email, and then you can try and transform that, or you can just pop me an email if you need any help or are struggling with something. So, but that will be afterwards as well. Okay, kicking off, let's just quickly share our screen. There we go. We can actually share everything. No, sorry. There we go. Okay. So designing a landing page, mastering the art of conversion, because that is the most important thing, right?
Hold on one second, Tanya. It's how it's shared. It's just showing a very small screen. It's showing the share screen in your video bubble. I'm not sure if I can change the layout at all.
Is this better? Can you see everything now?
Yeah, looking good. That's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So this is naturally the mastering the art of conversion, because that is what's important. We all want to make sales. We want to get those leads in. We want to get the emails in. Now, what it is, so an introduction to this is, in today's digital landscape, the power of a well-crafted funnel is undeniable. Okay, it separates us from a good funnel. What separates it from a great one? We're going to deep dive today into everything regarding that, the potential that ClickFunnels has, and the proven strategies on the industry leaders like Russell Brunson and everything else you guys have learned through the days. What is a landing page? This is a standalone web page specifically crafted for marketing or advertising campaigns designed to convert visitors into leads or customers. So this is the thing that you send people either from your social media, from ads, from email marketing, anywhere you want to send people to specifically something. This is where they will land, and that is why it's called a landing page. Now, there's different sections of a landing page, which is quite important. So there's the top section, which we actually call TOFU, so the top of the funnel, the middle section, and the bottom section. So the top section, the purpose is to actually grab their attention and introduce the brand, the offer, the product, whatever you want to do. And the key elements here is the headline, the sub-headline, and the primary visuals. And this can either be an image or a video or anything similar that will grab their attention. Now, the middle section is where you actually want to have their interest and their consideration. Like, okay, you grab their attention, now they want to know more. So things that we need to look at here is a little bit more of information, a bit more of a nurturing of their interest that they showed at the beginning. And key elements, of course, is the testimonials, the benefits of the products, the features of the products, pricing, case studies, things like that. And then, of course, in your bottom section is that real strong drive to action. So it's a strong call to action. Trust badges, guarantees, anything like that will definitely be at the bottom section of your landing page or any funnel stating that. Okay, now first thing is first. Before you start, you need some design elements. So before you even open up your ClickFunnels account, make sure that you at least have these things. The first one is, of course, your logo. And I'm going to dive deep just slightly into this in a bit. A color palette. So you need to decide what your color design for this specific topic is. And do remember that you don't always have to stay just with your branding colors. So you can have different products within your branding, within your company, but do you decide on a specific color palette before you start? Don't try and incorporate as many colors as you can. It looks like a rainbow, it gets cluttered, it gets confusing. Decide on a maximum of 3 colors, okay? Next is your typography. You want to know your fonts. Do you have a corporate branding you're looking at? Do you always use the same type of fonts? Try to use something clear, something that's easily readable. You don't want to have too many fancy fonts with too many swirls. You want to have somebody can quickly scan it, read through it, and understand what they're reading. Do you remember everybody in today's day is busy? You guys are busy as well. You want to quickly glance through something and know what you're reading. Okay, so typography is very important. Imagery. Now, this you can still tweak when you're designing, but imagery is important. Backgrounds, things like that. Graphics and icons. Visual hierarchy. So exactly what the process is, what the flow is of your funnel. Responsive design. So can you look at it on mobile and does it make sense? Trust elements. This is your guarantee badges, things like that. Call to action design. What color will your button be, for instance, or what will your call to action be? And then testimonials. This is something very important as well. So take screenshots, as many as you can, get your testimonials ready. Make sure that you have everything up front. Okay, next is your logo. So the first thing we actually said is your logo. So make sure it's a PNG. So this is how it will look. It will have a .png. Make sure it does not have a background, except if you specifically want it with a white block background. Then you can use a JPEG. If not, make sure your designer or you on Canva or wherever export it without a background and as a PNG file. This is very important. Okay, so that's the first thing. Next is you want your designer to have as little as possible negative space around it. You don't want this, because as soon as you have this, your row suddenly only allows it to go as narrow as this, or your element as narrow as this. And this is quite a problem. So even if you're on Canva or whatever design program you're using, make this larger so that it is almost fitting to the edge. If you're using a designer, please ask them to do this for you. It's easy enough. They should know how to do this. Okay, then have a light version and a dark version. Why I'm saying this, sometimes in your footer, it's a dark version or a light version, and sometimes in your header or within your brand, you need both. So make sure you have both. It doesn't necessarily have to be white and black. It can just be a lighter version and a darker version so that it works either on black or on white. Okay. Something else to use is tinypng.com. This is a very nice free website where you can just drop in a PNG or a JPEG or whatever, and it downscales it for you. So my original logo was 21, and when I uploaded it, it was 11. Now you might ask, well, why is this important? This is for loading speed. If you have a lot of images, a lot of videos, etc., on your ClickFunnels account or on your funnel page, it's slow to load. So you want your images as small as possible, and this is why this is super important. So free website, tinypng.com. Use it, don't use it. Okay. Next is your design essential. We talked about this. Choose your 2 main colors, maximum 3 colors, and remember KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm sorry, I'm not calling you guys stupid. This is just what they call it. So in Peloton, for instance, you will find this, and I can actually open this. So these are just variations. So maybe you don't like the blue with the yellow, but you like something similar or a brighter color. So you can go and play around in Peloton with various colors, and you can use the different variations as well. If you hover over these, they will actually give you the hexachrome colors, which is that hashtag color that you want to use. So please go and choose your colors beforehand. You can put your main color in here, and then you can choose from here if you wanted similar colors or contrast colors, or and you can still go and drag these as well. So go and choose the colors that will best reflect your funnel. Okay, so that's very important. I'm sorry, I hope this was clicking. We can actually open this here. So this was just an example. So my main color was blue here. And now you can go and either just change the colors on here. You can even change if it needs to be less bright or not, or even change it on here. You can change here at the top if you want 4 different colors, but this is getting very bright. We don't want to go Google style. We usually just want like 2 colors and maybe a pop color for either a button or something that you really want to pop. So this is why this is so important. Okay, so Peloton is a free website as well that you can use. Very useful. Go and decide your colors before you start. Next, questions you want to ask yourself is, do my colors work together? So this is one of the funnels. Well, these are actually 2 funnels I designed. And although it's a blue and yellow, they still work together. Next is, do I repeat the design and the colors? And is there uniformity? So you will see here, like there's a blue section and a white section and a dark blue section and a white section and a yellow section, and they repeat it themselves. So they form a unity. They're even included within the funnel. There's a yellow headline within the blue, things like that. Something very that you need to look at. Here again as well, it's like the buttons, they're all similar, it's uniform. The colors of the products are similar, although not the same. The blocks are similar, the buttons are similar. and even the checkout. So that's something else as well. Is there uniformity between your lead page, your sales page, your checkout page, and your confirmation page? So that's very, very important to look at. Clean, clear, and uniform. That's what you're looking for. Now, other things you need before you need to design is, of course, your graphics. And icons, that's anything like to show your features and benefits. Typography we talked about. So this is your headings, subheadings, body text, and the same goes for your mobile, especially if you're in ClickFunnels 2.0. Please do this in your themes and styles. It makes life so much easier. So just go and set it up at the beginning. And then for your imagery, I don't know how many people of you know this, but background designs is usually just 1920 by 1080, and you set it on the parallax, just so that it can scroll easier and that it fits all the different devices, their mobile and desktop and laptop, etc. Okay, as I mentioned, so in ClickFunnels 2.0, setting your style and theme makes it so much easier. And where you can find this is at the bottom, there's a settings icon. And if you click on that, then you can actually go into styles and themes. And you can, if you click on the new and create a new style, you can actually go and set these up and name the style. So if you're a funnel hacker and you're doing 5 different types of websites for different clients, and you need to have different looks and feelings and etc., you can create 5 different styles. If you have 5 different companies within your, well, you can actually do more as well, but I'm just stating the fact that you can actually do different styles and save them. So this is such a game changer. It really saves time. So if you set this up, if you set this up prior, it's so much easier to actually just do your funnel. Okay, going back to backgrounds. Now, backgrounds can look appealing or they can overbear what you want to do. So always remember, the main focus needs to be your message and what you want to sell them or get them to opt into. It should not be your background. So this is just a quick example of somebody's that I did. So my bullets for this is, don't go too bright, okay? Always try to do a subtle background, whether it's dark or light, try and make it subtle, okay? Not too much detail, especially in the middle, because usually in the middle, everything happens. So you have your video or your context or everything that happens here. So keep it as subtle as possible in the middle, and then you can do something maybe in the sides. Okay. Have darker color variations or light or almost white. So here for this exact same funnel, we used a dark variation because we wanted this to pop. And then we have a lighter variation for all the other details, which is very important. So, and that brings me to the next point. Black on white always reads better than white on black. So you can see here as well, your eyes usually struggle a bit with the white on the dark, but it reads so much easier and quicker on black on white. So try to keep your most important information always black on white. And I actually said, read that again, because it's very important. Black on white reads so much better. Don't put important information white on black or white on dark. Okay. So here is another example. And what I want you to look at here is, even though I've got more detail in my backgrounds, my question to you is always, where is my eye drawn to? So both these images are actually looking in the middle. So my eye is actually drawn to what is going on here, as well as the call to action, which is quite important. So, and that is why we need to ask as well, where do I want my clients to focus on? And that is where your design needs to be. So although there's a lot going on in the background, everything still focuses in the middle, and the call to action is very, very important. Here as well, there's a little bit more going on in the background, and this is just a very nice quotation that will motivate my clients, but that's not the main focus. My main focus is to get them to click here. So that's very, very important, and this stands out. So always ask yourself, where's your eye drawn to, and where do you want your client to focus on? Is your eye drawn to where they need to focus on? And then just in relation to this, I actually just want to show again the color and the black on the light or the white background. It just stands out so much more. So do really think about what your design needs to do. It needs to be clean. It needs to be simple, and you need to lead your people or your customers where you want them to go to. Okay, again, design rule, keep it simple, stupid, simple, clean, messages clear. Icons help, clean, clear. Usually try and make it sort of the same size or in the same width. This was actually a screenshot of a smaller screen to show you the fact that on a larger screen, they were exactly the same height. But as soon as we went smaller, they started to go different heights. So try and keep them similar, try and keep them parallel. But it's so important to look at it. Icon, heading, text, make it clear, make it visually appealing. As soon as you start to bold things, underline, italic things, it will also stand out. Don't do too much. This didn't work. I couldn't add more details in here. It simply just didn't work in the actual funnel itself, because there was a lot of details at the top and at the bottom, but it's always something to think about. So, and as you can see here again, the bold pops out very nicely, color changes, draws your eyes, things like that. Even shadows as well. So very important to think about. Okay. Part 2 of the design essentials. Okay, first of all, we wanted that visual hierarchy that we talked about, the actual flow. So understand the order in which you want your audience to process the information. And this will guide the design layout, size of the element, and their positioning as well. You don't want them to see the offer before you've addressed their pain points. So things like that. So decide where you want to place things in your funnel, and that will guide the way you design as well. Responsive is very important. So even though a lot of designers have an extra screen, like for instance, myself has a huge extra screen that I work on. But the problem is that a lot of people either look on their laptop or on their mobile. So you need to make sure that your design works on a laptop and on a mobile. Always check for this, please. Trust elements, we discussed this as well. So this is the badges, the testimonials, reviews, certification, anything like that that you still need to do. So get that handy before you start designing as well. Call to action need to stand out, but still fit in with the brand theme. So for instance, if you have a pop color, like a bright green on your blue funnel type of thing, decide what your pop and your brand color will be for this call to action. And then testimonials, screenshots or photos or things like that. Okay. The actual funnel structure and the flow of it, and this is for a landing page or any type of funnel you basically do, is at the top of the funnel is where you create your awareness. Okay, so you're targeting a broad audience and introducing them to your brand. So at this stage, you're making the audience aware that they have a problem or a need. So these are the pain points that you're really going to focus on. And then you're going to tease them with a solution. Either you have an image at the top, or a lead magnet, or a video, or a webinar that they can subscribe to. So this is very important at the top. And things to remember here is for your color palette, if you're starting out, rather go light than dark. I'm stating this simply because, as you saw as well, black on white pops out so much better. And if you're still in the beginning stages of designing for funnels, rather use dark on light backgrounds. Okay, it just pops out so much better. And later on, you can start testing darker colors. Typography, use large, bold fonts, especially for the headings to grab their attention, because it just ensures readability. Visuals, infographics are great. Short video clips are great, things like that. And the layout is use a clean layout with ample white space. It just makes breathable and easy to digest. So, Lee, do we have chats? Can you see chats?
Where's the chat thing gone? No comments at the moment. No, I think you've been covering everything pretty well. So it's going nicely. Do you want to jump into questions now, or have you got more bits to cover?
No, I do have more to cover, but I actually want them to quickly pop in the chats. What is the similarities they see on these? What are the things that they see are exactly the same? And this is the top section of a funnel.
We haven't had any responses yet. Howard said, great. Bright buttons, call to action at the top.
I know some of these are blurry, but it doesn't matter. Just see what you can see. With first visual, what do you see on all of them?
For me, it's that the button's obvious on all these pages. Bright buttons, yeah, images, black on white looks good.
Okay, great. So if you answered any of the next, a strong hook, a big heading, clear and concise message, clean design, backgrounds can be interested but not deter from the rest. The background designs are more at the sides and then in the center. 2 to 3 colors maximum. Some of them has an input like an email or name. They have videos and imagery, which is quite strong. And the call to action is above the fold. So everybody answered correctly in any case, but these are the things. So saying this, I'm just quickly for a moment going back. So can you see the strong call to actions? It's clear, it's concise. The design is clean. Call to actions is above the line. Background is not subtracting from the actual main point. The buttons are bright and clear to click on. Okay, so very, very important. Top above the fold designing. Okay, so design tips. Visual tips, use light colors and engaging visuals like infographics or short video clips that we discussed. Call to action, always, always, always above the fold. People, please remember this, even for your mobile. This is so important. You need to design for your mobile as well. It makes a huge difference in conversion rates. Okay, and then no links to other pages. Very, very important. I'm not talking about your home page. This is something else. But for a funnel page, there should not be any links except to your checkout or application page, or for your footer for conditions and privacy policies. You do not want to take their attention away from the actual funnel page. Okay. Now, please, in the comments again, please put the number of the mobile design which you think is incorrect after everything we just talked about. Is it a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5? Yes, I'm seeing a lot of 3s. I'm seeing a 1. Anybody else? Another 3. Okay, great. So yes, the 3 is incorrect. And the reason for this is because you cannot see the call to action above the fold. And this is a mobile design. So everybody else actually has a call to action. And this is where it's so important. And I actually took this example to show you that on my, for instance, I was building my home page, and the desktop was working perfectly. But as soon as I saw how the mobile looked, I had to redesign the mobile page only to put my button at the top. And this is not even done. There was just a good example to show. So always go and redesign your mobile. You can make buttons to be mobile only. You can change your pictures to be desktop and mobile only, that you can go and move. So please always design for mobile only as well. Okay, awesome. So the middle, okay, so we're done with the top of the section. So the middle of the funnel is where you need to incorporate all your testimonials, your case studies, etc., and elaborate on the pain. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper on the pain points and start to introduce the solution. So this is where you start introducing yourself or your company or the product or whatever the solution is to their pain points, and showcase your services and their pain points. Now, this is just an example, and we've got some very good pointers on here. So first of all, look at swapping images. So if you have 2 sections below each other, and they both have 2 columns with an image on the one side and text on the other side, swap them around. So don't just put all your images on the left and all your text on the right. Always try and swap them. It's like left image, right text, left text, right image, and then again, something similar to this will rather go below here. So very, very important. Make 1 row heading. So in between columns, it's very nice to have like a 1 row heading instead of a 2 row column. It just brings attention to this. Highlight keywords with a different color, like with the pop color that we initially talked about. This is so important, like even for your icons. Just look here, and like it pops out. Different colors pops out. And then shadows create a nice effect for pops as well, just to create that break within your page, but not over complicating this. This is actually like an inside shadow as well for an image without a background. So you can either use an outside image to a section or a row, to an image, within an image, or just outside an entire little column as well. So shadows, look into that. It's very important. Okay, then the bottom of the funnel. This is where the people actually make their decision. So we need to focus on strong call to actions here. Think about your buttons, how many buttons you are using, the contrast color. Try and steer away from red buttons if you can. Blue and green does better, but I have seen that red and oranges work as well. It all depends on the message and the entirety of your color palette. It depends on the offer mainly, of course, as well. So we need to remind them of the pain, of course, again, and you need to make your solution super clear. So I've just took my brand expert here as an example throughout, and just trying to make sure that we're focusing on the preposition, the benefits, the results, everything like that. Okay, so just a quick summary of all the sections before we go to the rest. So the top section is about your purpose. So it grabs your attention, introduce the brand or the offer. Remember, clear, concise, big headlines, big hooks, strong hooks though, a video or something really compelling. Okay, then the middle section is where they considerate their consideration stage. So this is where we provide more detail and information and nurture their interest. We talk about the benefits and the features, the testimonials, the pricing, the case studies, things like that. And then at the bottom section, it's the drive to action, the sign up, the purchase, the call, the badges, the guarantees, the FAQs, things like that. It's very, very important at the end. So if you can quickly grab a screenshot of this, super important for all funnels as well. Okay. Next, a few things to check. Very, very important. After you have designed your funnel, these are things that you need to check for. You need to check for the URL of your step and your page. You don't want your URL to say /6785 sales page for X, Y, and Z. It looks unprofessional. Your client immediately sees that at the top. You really want to focus on getting your URL for your page and your step. Something simple, something that makes sense. Don't call it a sales page or a checkout page. Confirmations and thank yous are fine, but try for your sales page not to call it a sales page. Rather say now or go or your solution or let's get this done or whatever your product is, call it something similar to your product. Okay. SEO heading and descriptions are very, very important as well. So SEO, Google is getting more and more into SEO. So the better your SEO heading, description, and image is, the better you will start ranking on Google as well. Do these for your blogs as well. Google is more into this than ever before. Call to action, always above the fold. Mobile, desktop, and make sure it works on laptop if you're working on a big screen. Make sure your links and buttons are always working. Sometimes you click on it and it goes to a page not found, or it's a pop-up and the pop-up isn't working, etc. Always make sure things like that. Preview on the laptop, mobile design, links in the footer. Make sure your links in the footer is working. The funnel I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to have links in my footer simply because this is something that's sometimes overlooked. So make sure your links are working for your privacy policy and terms of conditions, things like that. No link should ever go away from your sales page, except if it's to your checkouts or it's your footer links. Okay. Make sure your test mode is off, especially if you want to actually get money in. Make sure your workflow is connection, your emails, your confirmation, your fulfillment, your know, like, and trust sequences, things like that. And that includes, of course, your assets in your customer center and that your tags has been allocated. Okay. A last few things for the design wise to check as well is, does your design flow, and make sense, just does your design flow make sense? If you're reading it from the top to the bottom as if you knew nothing about your product, about your company, about what you are offering, does it make sense to your customer? Is it clear? Is it simple? Is it understandable? Okay. Is there a lot of things and colors going on? Hide that section, redo it. Okay. is your call to actions clear? And are there enough on the page, especially on mobile? Always include more buttons on mobile and make it only on mobile, because you scroll a lot more through sections for your mobile, especially through testimonials and a lot of imagery, things like that. Make sure your testimonials and images are visible on mobile. I'm actually going to show you an example now. And then, how is your size of your page? So how long does it take to load? Does it take a few seconds? Does it take a few minutes? Hopefully not. But how long does it take to load? Because remember, all your clients might not be able to access it always on a high speed. So does it have sufficient loading time? And if not, then start looking at your backgrounds, at your imagery, and use that tiny PNG. That's very important. Okay. And then just quickly, so I wanted to show you, so this is actually
I think we might have lost Tanya. Can you hear us at all, Tanya? Or hear me at least? It seems like Tanya's having some internet issues, so we'll give her a couple of minutes to come back, as I think she's pretty close to finishing everything off. She's definitely gone. Let me send her a message quickly, see if she's completely out or if things have just gone down momentarily. 1 second.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Ah, you're back. Perfect. I just sent you a message. Luckily, you're up and running again.
Yes. Okay. So where did you lose me, Lee?
You were about to, I'm not sure, you were going to show us the testimonials. So it was just before you flick to the next step.
Okay. Let me share this again. Okay. So this is actually the opt-in page I'm going to share with you as well. So you will see it has various sections. It has where you can actually put a video or your picture in it, something about yourself, key features, a little bit of bullets, and then here are testimonials. So this looks fine on desktop version, but as soon as we go to mobile, it's going to be way too small to see this. And the way you can actually test mobile on your desktop is to second function in F12 usually. I'm not too sure about the Macs, but and then here at the top you can just choose between the desktop and the mobile, and you can even go here and choose exactly what type of phone you want to look at. But if you look down at the bottom here, so this is so small on a mobile that you actually can't see it. You will actually go and need to recreate these images so that it is better on a desktop. So this one I actually went and actually duplicated. And if you can see it on, so here, you can actually see this one is desktop only and desktop only because it was slightly less wide. It just didn't look good that wide, so I just made it less wide. But then if I go to mobile, I actually duplicated it and made it the full width. so that it's slightly larger. And for these, I can't make it any larger, but I need to actually go and screenshot the specifics and then rather put them in mobile. And then here you only choose mobile only. So normally an image is all, but if you go here mobile, it will be mobile only. Or you can do desktop only. So just duplicate it before you just make it either or, and then you can clearly see that it is, that it is mobile size. So again, just always design first on desktop if you can, and then go to mobile and start duplicating sections and putting them in place. As you can see here, this is mobile only, because if I had it the way with the image first and then that text first, this button would have been below the fold on mobile. So super important to always check your mobile, and even for your text size as well. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? You want it to be clear and concise on mobile as well as desktop, because 80% of the people is actually watching it on mobile these days, not on desktop anymore. Okay, that's it from me. So any questions?
Nolan asked a good question. It's regarding testimonials. So is it best to have the testimonials and Google reviews? Do you have them right below the top section, or should they always go towards the bottom? Do you spread them out throughout the page? What do you think is the best way to go?
So it depends on the length of your page. If it's a very long page, it might actually be suitable to actually spread them out within the page. Sometimes just have a little bit of copy and then an image and then a screenshot, things like that. So if you can break it down, because just having a lot of testimonials below each other might be a little bit too much for a consumer. So try and spread them out within, but don't put them right at the top. Rather start introducing your solution and then place them, and then start introducing about the rest of the products, or more of the solution or pain points, and then again a little bit, and then maybe at the bottom, even just before your FAQs or even after your FAQs.
Perfect. If anyone else has got any other questions, send them over to the chat. What I really liked was how you had all your funnel, your landing page images in a row, so you could see the blend of the whole funnel. Is there a tool or anything that you can take screenshots of a whole landing page? Is there anything particular you use?
Yes, it's called full screen. Sorry, let me just quickly confirm. I think it's full screen capture. It's a Google.
Oh, is it a Chrome plugin? Is it?
A Chrome plugin, yes, sorry.
Oh, very cool.
Full screen. I will actually drop the link in the chat. It's called full screen, full page screen capture.
Cool.
It's a Chrome plugin. That's great.
Sarah's asked about buttons. So do you typically have a button, sort of a call to action button after every section, or is there a number of buttons that you think is best on a page? What's the consensus for putting call to action buttons?
Okay, so always above the fold, that's very important. And then it depends on the type of funnel you have as well. So for instance, a lead page where you introduce your solution basically at the top, it's very nice to have it basically after every section. It just needs to make sense. Like I wouldn't necessarily do a button below introducing myself or the company, but I might just have it in the section after that or even before that. If you're doing a more like a VSL, like a sales page type of thing, I would actually have it above the fold and then only lower down when I start introducing the solution, like really getting into it. Like this is the pricing, this is the breakdown, things like that. And then after that, I will include it in every section, not higher.
Perfect. That makes complete sense. Has anyone else got any other questions at all? Malik has asked, he said, this is one of the first times seeing a design of a funnel. Do you have a source that can be used to see how this is done? So you're going to share your funnel file, aren't you? The share file funnel. And I'll email that out to everyone so you can see that.
Yes. And what I'll do is maybe I'll do a little recording and just like on how to build a small one then as well to include.
That'd be very cool. Is that CF Classic or is it 2.0, the funnel, or does it work on both?
This one is actually for 2.0.
Perfect. Cool. Right, any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we can wrap it up. I'll send everyone out the replay because there was so much gold in this. It's very difficult to keep up with everything. So whenever, I'll probably send it out. I'll try and put it in the newsletter tomorrow. So when I send that out, keep an eye out for it and you can go back over it and yeah, take more notes and whatnot, because yeah, so you put a lot of information into it. There's so many things that you need to think about with a landing page design. And yeah, I think there's a lot of things that are easily missed, aren't there? You think you've got everything in there, but without a checklist, it can be difficult. So Sarah, regarding your question, so that Chrome app is if you want to take an image of your whole landing page. So if you take a screenshot, obviously you only get your screen that's showing, but that app will take a picture of your whole landing page that you've got, so that then you can look at it in one image and see if it flows nicely, see if it looks good, and take it from there.
Yeah, I can actually show you just quickly how it works. So it's the Go Full page. This is the actual Google Chrome. And then if you're on a page, and this can be for any page, so any page you want a funnel hack or that you like or anything, this is amazing. And it's simply a plugin here at the top. It looks like a little camera. And if you click on it, it simply goes through the entire page. And then you can actually download it either as a PDF or a PNG. And it's amazing. As you can see here is the entire page.
I didn't think of that for funnel hacking. That's a great thought. So if you see a page that you like, you can do that, and then you can see the whole flow and hack the life out of it. That's fantastic.
That is correct, especially because you don't always immediately need it, but you want to have a reference later on. So it's good to have a library.
You can sort of build your own little swipe file, can't you, of funnels that you like, funnel designs and stuff.
That's correct.
Very cool. All right, I don't think we've got any more questions coming in, and that was absolutely fantastic, Tanya. Really appreciate that. As I say, I'll send everyone the message. I'll send everyone the share funnel link in a minute. I'll make sure we have the replay ready for tomorrow. Then yeah, everyone have a fantastic rest of the week and a good weekend. Appreciate you taking the time to go through all that, Tanya, and appreciate everyone turning up. But
Lee, I'm sorry, let me rather send it to you so that you can send it out with the newsletter, and then you can send it out to again, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Let me just
that works for me.
That little video with it and get everything ready.
Yeah, sounds brilliant. Awesome. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day. Again, thank you very much, Tanya. This was fantastic. I'll see you all soon. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
See you all later.
Bye.